All right. What I would like to do right now is bring to our show Michael Porter's Wrestle Shoot, the one and only, the original Sinn Bodhi, also known as former WWE superstar Kazarny. Kazarny, welcome to Wrestle Shoot.
How you doing, Jimmy Jack?
Well, my name's not quite Jimmy Jack, but I'll accept that. We have.
Okay, let's try this again. How you doing, Slizap Mizat?
Oh, yeah, okay, you got it. All right, I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us right here on Wrestle Shoot.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. We have quite a few of your fans already in the chat room, and
people with bad taste.
That is great. Anonymous 1900 in the chat room says, Michael knows me. Yes, I know. And they also say, Sin rocks. So you've got your followers.
Genius. That person is genius.
Of course. They are genius. You know, what can I say, because we here at Michael Porter's Wrestle Shoot only have the best on the show. All right. I have so many questions I want to ask you. I'm going to start out with your introduction into the world of professional wrestling. I know that you were trained by Ron Hutchinson, Rob Fuego, and also some by Alex Atkinson. Can you tell us?
Yeah, that's going way back. Yes.
Yeah, so that is a little ways back.
You're pretty thorough, man.
Well, I try to do my best to be prepared for my interviews. Sometimes I get some bad information, but most of the times it's pretty much right on. Okay, would you rather me call you Sin or Kazarny?
Sin will be fine.
Alrighty, because I know that I did hear in another interview that you weren't crazy about the name Kazarny.
I mean, I was crazy about the opportunity. I was not so much crazy about the name. It just sort of sounded like a kind of a weird Houdini sort of name to me, and didn't really float my boat. But when the $1 billion boss drops a name on you, you don't tell him, "Oh no, I don't like that. What else you got?" You just say, "Yes, sir. How high do you want me to jump, sir?" "Yes, I'm boss." And that's how you do.
Yeah, well, sometimes especially in the WWE. Or when I worked for him, the WWF, there's not a whole lot you can do about bitching and moaning, if you want to keep your job.
Yeah, I mean, I was a polite, hardworking. I mean, I am a polite, hardworking guy. I'll do what I'm told. Like, I'm an employee when I'm there backstage. Yep. Then when I go out to the ring, it's my job to be this, that, or the other thing. Crazy, good guy, bad guy, funny, mean, creepy, whatever, I'm asked to do. But backstage, you find your P's and Q's. You're in your workplace.
Yeah.
If you're a lawyer or a doctor or a plumber or whatever the heck you are, you don't tell your boss what's what and expect to get out of it without, getting jacked somehow.
Yeah. That is so true. All right.
As far as that name, I just think it sounds silly to me. I always joke and say that I'm a full contact birthday clown. That name sounds like what that should be, and I don't know, it's just silly to me. I think the only two people I've ever heard say it and make it sound cool, because they don't even say the whole thing, they just say Kiz, and just in their sort of deep voices, was Undertaker and Balls Mahoney. Go figure that out.
Wow.
The only two dudes that would call me, they're like, "Hey, what up, Kiz?" And it sounded cool when they said it, but I think when you hear the whole damn name, I just think it sounds kind of goofy.
Well, like I said, I'll call you Sin then.
Okie dokie.
Okay. When you were growing up, were you a fan of pro wrestling? If so, who did you look up to, and who were some of your favorites?
Yeah, heck yeah, I was a massive fan. I mean, I watched all the way from. I sort of got hooked at War to Settle the Score with Piper and Hogan.
Oh yeah.
That was my first taste. That's how geriatric I am. That I was around 100 years ago. Sorry, don't get upset, Hulk. Don't get upset, Piper. I love you guys. But that's when I started watching, like, as it happened. I didn't watch it years later on a DVD. I watched it as it went. And that was my first hook. Started watching, and it was Macho Man, Jake the Snake, Ricky Steamboat, Mr. Perfect, British Bulldogs,
And you're talking about guys I worked with back in the late '80s up to the early '90s. Some of my favorite people were some of those names that you just mentioned.
Those are the guys that I grew up on. Those guys and Spider-Man and Batman. I mean, to me, wrestlers were the real-life superheroes and supervillains. And that I was a total comic geek growing up. I still am. And that was my big hook. Was like, ooh, this is a chance to be a superhero or supervillain or what have you.
Yeah, that's basically true.
And then, to add to the elusiveness and the mystique of it, I grew up on early, 80s WWF. But in Canada, where I was from, I would get the various wrestling magazines, and I would see guys like Dusty Rhodes, Road Warriors, Ric Flair, Rock and Roll Express, and I just who the heck are these guys? I haven't, they weren't on WWF, so I didn't know anything other than that. But I always just wondered, and then as I, kind of stumbled on videotapes and this and that and just got a little bit older, and then I actually got to see live shows, and I was just mesmerized by just everything.
Okay, so it's been established that you were a fan at a younger age. So what made you actually decide to make the step and actually get into the business and the training?
Well, I grew up, not a big secret, I grew up with Edge and Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Edge went and trained way before Christian or I ever trained. He won a contest and got to train pretty much right out of high school. But he had sort of had, we were all just little guys, and then all of a sudden, Adam, Edge, he just shot up, and he just went to 6'3", 6'4" overnight when we were in late high school.
Yeah.
And so, as far as watching WWF, we thought you had to be 6'5" just to be a referee. We didn't know about cruiserweights. We didn't know about, we just thought it was the land of the giants.
Yeah.
Everybody seemed to be monstrous.
Yeah. Well, we have a former WWF referee, Mike Toomey, in the chat room. He says, laughing my ass off, about being, a referee at 6'5", because he's definitely a shrimp compared to that 6'5".
That was just the sort of the mindset that we had as kids, going, geez, all these guys are just huge and monstrous, and Andre and even you wouldn't think back and think of Piper or JYD as monstrous, but they're over 6 feet and they're 250 pounds and they're huge and this and that, and I'm just thinking, I'm just a shrimpy little kid. What am I going to do? I'm going to be a water boy, But then
a water boy, you don't look a thing like Adam Sandler.
Right. Well,
I couldn't resist that. I'm sorry.
Lucky for Adam, But I know that was our mindset, and I think that was maybe more my set than Christian's, just because I think he was more of a hockey player. He liked playing hockey and basketball and stuff like that, where I was a comic dork.
Yeah.
So he was used to being athletic, so I don't think he minded being a smaller guy. But it was actually his fault that I got into wrestling. So anybody who doesn't like me, blame it on Christian. Because
right, we'll let him know. Next time we talk to him.
Well, how it went down was Christian and I, after Edge, Adam had gone in and trained and started wrestling for a couple of years, we decided that depending on getting into college or not, we would go and train as well. And told us, again, no secret, I'm smart, Christian's stupid, so he didn't get into school, and I did.
Woo.
I went off to college, and Jay, Christian, he went and trained. And then when I just couldn't stand college anymore and just thought, this is not for me, I ran off and joined up at the wrestling school.